Divergent Gaming Open. I am Tempo Storm Zoya, and with me is Tempo Storm Dreadnought as we are getting ready to go into our next set, Gale Force eSports versus Car. And to do a quick bracket update for you guys, that is one of the round of 4 matchups. And in the other one, I believe it is going to be, let's see here, Thai Iced Tea. And they have made it there, and we're waiting on the results of the UTA Heroes of the Dorm team versus Noob Phalem.
And the UTA, I believe, is the one that showed last time, which is going to be pretty much Blaze 2.0. It's kind of an altered version of the Blaze roster that exists right now.
Yes.
And so they're a really good team. They're going to do really well, most likely, in this tournament. They were absolutely dominating last time. I don't believe they walked away with a win, but they did fall only to Gale Force. So definitely a very formidable team there when it comes to that HOTS roster. The draft is going to be started here. We're going to be picking the maps slowly but surely here, guys. And the maps are going to be between Infernal Shrines and Towers of Doom. So possibly a new map here or a repeat. There we go. We are going to be on Towers of Doom here between Gale Force Esports and Car.
Well, we are loading into the map. The draft here is going to be another Zagara ban. Again, Zagara is, I think, the perfect ban versus a team you know nothing about. Zagara is a comfort pick for every single team in the entire world. I mean, every team can play Zagara. She's got safe, consistent damage. She's got vision, which makes her safe not only for herself, but for every hero on your team, as well as the Maw can be one of the most game-changing fights or heroics in the game. So if you know nothing about your opponent, Zagara is always a nice safe band.
Yeah.
Unless there's like something about your playstyle that gets directly hard countered by another hero, just throwing out the Zagara band makes sense. Car going to respond with the Rhaegar band, who's considered the best support in the game right now. Maybe the best hero at the moment.
I think he's without a doubt considered the best hero, not just support, just the best hero. And Gale Force is going to lock on that Li Ming. So This is going to be the first time we see that played here today. Going to be really interesting to see the build and the playstyle out of them. Thrall is going to be the response from Car there. I'd like the pickup only because of the Zagara ban. But I definitely... Falstad is one of those heroes where a lot of teams, I think it comes down to more of the team's playstyle than anything. Some prioritize it very heavily. Others kind of put him as like a if needed situation. When Zagara is banned, he does gain more priority only because he is one of the few sustained kind of damage dealers in the game. And he's kind of this hybrid between burst and sustain. But Jaina getting hovered as well. I think personally, I know I like Jaina as their pickup the most here from Car.
Well, Kel'Thas being hovered. And Kel'Thas being picked up... is a bit surprising. In the last 3 games, we've seen Kel'Thas picked up very early on in the draft, and from the games I've been watching since his nerfs, he's not necessarily a bad hero, but he's in the drafts I've been seeing in scrims as well as other tournaments, he's fallen down much lower towards where we're seeing him making it to mid-tier bans where he sometimes gets banned there or get picked afterwards. So in all 3 of these drafts, we've seen Kel'Thas pick up in the first half, which is a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually, that he's made it this. I think a lot of people are kind of underestimating not only his playstyle, but also the kind of adjustments to him during the last patch there. But Falstad ETC going to be a response from Gale Force Esports. Great sustained damage dealer and a great tank there as well from Gale Force. Car going to be looking for the response band. I feel like... leaving Uther open is a really big priority from them. I definitely don't want to see them look to kind of support choke, kind of rely on Gale Force and force them into possibly doing that because Uther works both well with Kel'Thas and Uther, or Thrall, excuse me. And also, I really feel like that band you could force Gale Force into and then just pick it yourself there. So I feel like that's a draft misplay for sure from Gale Force. I feel like they're giving up a little too much here.
Well, we're going to see what that's going to be end up denied here. And a lot of support bans so far, as Uther, Rhaegar, and Tastar are all denied. We'll have to see what Car wants to lock in. And another situation where we're seeing Malfurion hovered. I honestly feel Malfurion's in a really bad spot when it comes to the support meta. Not necessarily because he's a bad hero, but supports right now are in such a good place. Uther, Rhaegar, Kharazim, Tyrande, Tassadar, even Brightwing, Rhaegar, they're all fantastic Lieutenant Morales. They're all really good supports. It's not that Malfurion is necessarily bad. It's just like everyone else is really, really good right now. So it's interesting to see the Malfurion pick up right now, especially when they're planning on picking up Diablo. That's one of the harder healers to keep him up with. Lieutenant Morales would be great here for keeping up with Diablo.
I kind of agree. I think that Malfurion's also, I feel like he's one of the most underestimated healers, so I kind of sit on the opposite side of the spectrum. I agree that there's no reason to pick him up in this draft at that time. There's all the options of the world, and essentially by articulating the Malfurion pick up there, he says the Gale Force eSports an instant respawn with Tyrande Karazim, which is a direct counter to what they were looking to do with the Malfurion. He just struggles so hard with that single target healing and the large amount of burst that's going to come out of the ETC. So Gale Force running nearly identical composition as they did last game with that single target burst, ETC Tyrande combo, Karazim for the lockup with a 7-sided struck, and then Zeratul is going to be picked up by Car here. The triple melee, double melee assassin composition coming out from them. Going to be really interesting to see how they play it out. I like Zeratul. I just don't know if I like him in the comp that they've picked so far. I feel like it's very panicked.
That's the definition of it, 100% panicked. They want someone that can easily isolate Li Ming. And Zeratul's fantastic at that, especially with Shadow Assault. You can really annihilate a Li Ming very, very quickly. It's, again, like you said, they already have the one melee assassin withdrawal. And this is a lot of melee that are going to be in that front line for, those monster power slides and the lunar flare combos. And then, with multiple members going for these weird fights, Diablo charges from the front, Thrall and Zeratul look for angles to come at. That is an easy way to get someone isolated for that 7-sided strike. It's definitely felt like a panic pickup there coming out from Carr.
Yeah, I do agree with you on a lot of fronts there. But overall, when it comes to the draft here, we see Gale Force eSports running that kind of face roll, as I put it, composition where it's just hit one stun, hit the next stun, proceed to kill the target situation that they're going to have from their comp, which is going to be soft countered or hard countered, depending on, it's more of a skill matchup, in my opinion, on how well that Zeratul can use a possible Void Prison if he goes that route in order to try and zone the targets when they overcommit there and then get a counter engage with APOC and Malfurion. So essentially, ETC Tyrande go in, they get the stun off, everybody funnels in to try and confirm the kill. Zeratul goes, nope, Chuck Testa hits you with a Void Prison, then the root comes out, and then APOC follows up. It's in a huge counter engage that they have potential for, especially post 13. It's not a must-have from their comp, but it's definitely a route they can go, and if they do, I want to see how well they're able to do it. It's going to be very crucial to make sure Falstad, if that's the route they go, is hit by that CC. Otherwise, he'll just gust away and everything will be wasted.
Well, guys, we are loading into our third game of the day. Winner of this series goes on to the grand finals. Well, we'll see if they're able to close it out there. But, guys, this is going to be the first semifinal match of the day. Towers of Doom is the map. Gale Force eSports, a tournament or a veteran to the Divergent Gaming Open, going up against Carr. We'll see if this less than standard draft from Carr can pull out a win here, or will the high burst damage composition coming out from Gale Force eSports be able to close it out?
Absolutely. And honestly, I feel like Gale Force eSports composition, especially in the amateur tournaments, is far more successful than a lot of the other ones. This composition that they run is pretty easy to be successful with. And then at the same time, it's very hard to kind of play around when your team is a little less veteran. I do feel like they're able to, if they're able to get a little bit of a lead here, a lot of Carr and how well they react to the situation is usually a panicked answer from most people here. So it's going to be very crucial to see how well they adapt to this type of situation and the playstyle coming out from Gale Force.
Well, guys, we are almost there. Get hyped in the chat. Let us know who you're cheering for, as we are just about to get this game started. Just waiting on 2 members to load in, and I think we have it, Dreadnought. Towers of Doom yet again. Second time we are casting it today. And here we go on the left-hand side of the map in the blue trunks. It's going to be Gale Force eSports. Hexo again playing the Kerazi, Mysticles on the Li Ming. Ball and Beast playing Falstad, Daihu on EDC, and rounding out the team is going to be Ilamao playing Tyrande.
And then in the red trunks here, we're going to have Carr. We're going to have Wedges 27 is going to be playing Kel'Thas. Zeta will be on the Malfurion. Juggernaut is going to be playing the Thrall there. Zig will be on the Zeratul. And Iconic will be playing the Diablo here. We're going to go see these teams possibly go head-to-head here. I really hope that we see Gale Force eSports try and force this engagement, and that Carr is smart enough to not try and take this engagement just because they're level 1, as we saw last game as well. It's just the level 1 advantage for the ETC Tyrande comp is just insane.
We'll be changing up our level 1 talents here on Diablo this game. We'll be seeing Devil's Due this time, which is the reduced black soulstones cost for resurrections. You only need 60 souls to res, and it allows you to be a lot more aggressive on the Diablo. We saw last game that Diablo just kept getting punished and punished versus this ETC Diablo lineup, and with those reduced souls on resurrection, that's going to allow him to be a little forgived a little bit more for his deaths. That's sometimes on Diablo, especially with the current playstyles of Diablo, it's not actually a bad thing if you die in a team fight. Sometimes you die to secure a kill or save a teammate's life, and then with that reduced resurrection cost, you're back in the fight very quickly.
Yeah, and we see a situation where the 4-1 rotations from Daihu and friends again. ETC is going to stun, and then it's just rip and cheese. It's every single time we see this happen, and that's what I was talking about when it comes down to the simplicity of their composition. It's just so hard for these non-experienced teams to kind of be able to deal with this situation here. So you see Zeta and Wedges backing out smart there, but again, I do fear that they're going to be able to walk away with a pretty snowballed lead here as Gale Force eSports has a familiar comp. Mystically's going up in the upper lane, having a little bit of trouble there. Thrall going to collapse. The dog is going to miss there, and I think Juggernaut's actually going to maybe lose his life there. If that Q hit, Juggernaut was actually going to be dead there. So smart potential answer here from Gale Force eSports. Also, the huge thing I wanted to point out, at level 1, Li Ming did go E, so that is almost 100% going to be an E-oriented build here to deal with the Zeratul.
We do see Daihu goes for the power slide on the Juggernaut, doesn't end up getting it. Shadow Charge flip goes on to Ilamalo there. Nice Lunar Flare coming out, and they secure the kill on Thrall, but Zig looking for that kill. He's looking for the wormhole. Daihu not able to body block him. He mounts up, but that cleave going to be enough to secure that kill. A 1-for-1 exchange.
Absolutely, and they aren't going to be able to delay with the Owl here because it's 12 seconds on her death. Mystically being able to survive here is going to be absolutely crucial. The race to level 4 is going to be one. Zeratul pushing out the mid wave, trying to catch up, but Mystically's and friends are going to have the advantage here for a little bit. Owl now just going to spawn. The delay is going to be there. Way better rotation from Gale Force here. They're going to be here far earlier than their opponents. Now Toronto might be a little bit late. It's all about how hard they force this advantage here with Carr.
Well, Hexo already got the point there. That's a lot of damage going down on the fall stat. He gets the barrel roll back, but Zig waiting in position. Will he get the kill? And he does end up getting out of there as well with that wormhole. Hexo getting low himself. Daihu looking like he wants to go in so bad. And now that Ilamalo here, they're looking for it. Thrall, goodbye. You're getting annihilated so quickly. Iconic in a bad spot as well. Needs to get out of here. Gets a Shadow Charge flip on Daihu. He's going to go down, but Gravitas goes down on the Hexo, and that's going to be a dead Malfurion for a dead Karazim. They're looking for the kill onto Zig, though. Nice dodge of the Lunar Flare, and he does end up rotating down. I don't think Daihu saw him, so nice jukes from Ziggs, keeping himself alive.
Yeah, it was really well done on his part there, and keep in mind he did not run into the Vorpal Blade. He does in fact go Master Warp Blade there at level 4, so his single target damage will be increased if he's able to stay onto the target there. Really well done, honestly. The small level lead coming up for Gale Force eSports. They're not being able to fall too far behind versus the snowbally comp. I really like this from Carr. I don't think that it's necessarily the uphill battle that they've been facing since level 1. There's a stun in the mid lane. It might lead to a kill, but nobody else is actually there to ensure it, and meanwhile they're capping the camp here. But really I just feel like this uphill battle is not going to be done until round level 10, and if they're able to match their opponents at that time, and then I think they might have a chance to turn this game.
Well, let's see here what the mid game is going to look like as we're getting closer to that. Level 7 almost here for Gale Force eSports, as they've been doing a good job of controlling the water game. Now they do get some damage onto Wedge. He does end up moving back. Zig gets hit by that owl, revealing him, but I don't think there's going to be any deaths. False side using Fly to back out of there as well.
Go ahead.
We'll just have the next 2 shrines spawning, and that's going to be a big contention point here. We do not see Carr having level 7. They're still about a halfway away, and I don't know if they can contest if they don't get 7.
I absolutely want to see Carr only capture one of the shrines here. They know that one of their opponent is going to try and cap one. Just be willing to accept the trade here when you don't have the stronger level 1 through 9. Even with the 7-tier advantage, here we go. Iconic with really aggressive positioning. Just send Zeratul bottom, cap the opposite one. I feel like they're going to try and bite off more than they can chew against this so dominant 1 through 9 composition coming out from Gale Force. Falstad capping on the bottom while they're going to cap on the upper half. Are they going to be able to try and trade here? And they're going to be too passive, so
yeah,
it's going to be risky.
A lot of damage going on the Malfurion here. Daihu taking some himself. He's trying to body block Zeto, but this might be a mistake as he's going so deep for the kill. He is going to end up falling here, and Zeto's still alive. Hexo trying to get the turnaround kill onto Juggernaut. He's going to end up falling.
Reset.
And then there goes Ball and Beast diving deep onto Zeto. Can he get that kill? No, he's not. Nice roots the zone out there. Iconic with a Shadow Trying to also disengage for his teammate. And actually, Ball and Beast getting really low, but nice kills coming out from Ilamalo. Hexo zoning out Zig and Wedge from above, and it looks like it'll be a 1-for-1 exchange coming out for these teams here. And the middle shrine it's still available here. Ilamog does end up capping that. So far, all 3 alters going over to Gale Force.
Absolutely, and Zig actually almost getting picked there in the mid lane. Fall said he flew too deep there, so that will not be a kill in his favor there. The talent build here for Li Ming is, again, the E-oriented build, domination at 4, so every kill, excuse me, that was a misclick. Every kill, she's able to get 25% of her maximum health and then a large amount of damage on her E, so she'll be going into melee range quite often. Expect to see kind of a diamond skin coming out of her, and also the double E at 13 with the range. Actually, I think the 13 might be adjustable. A lot of people kind of have their preference when it comes to her, but I definitely like this build just because of the Zeratul. It's really well done in her part and how well they've been playing this. So again, Gale Force eSports telling the same tale that they did last game, get the early game lead and snowball this map.
We do see, I love this pickup here from Karazim. It's something that we're starting to see pop up in competitive play, and it is the Foresight talent at level 4. We're seeing Karazim's pick that up versus Zeratul. Very similar to, man, why am I forgetting that Brightwing talent name? Peekaboo. And it's much more frequent. So especially combining that with Li Ming when Zeratul's looking to take her down. As Miss Lee's being collapsed upon, Iconic and Zig looking for it, but not going to get it.
Yeah, they ended up barely getting out of there. He was sighted, but they do back off in this type of situation. Race to 10 is on, barely being won by Gale Force eSports here. Thrall going to be sighted out, the rotation to the bottom half, and both teams are just trying to be safe. I love this choice from Carr. They have kept this duo bottom lane down here to wave clear and then back out as best they can with the Malfurion not even taking burn.
Top. Gets taken down very quickly, and that's going to secure Gale Force eSports level 10. Dreadnought as another altar is spawning, and I mean, they're about half level away, but it's going to be a tough fight, and we do end up seeing it's going to be Wave of Force picked up on Mysticles, Mighty Gust on Falstad, Mosh Pit on ETC, Shadowstalk, and then 7-Sided Strikes as the last 2. But Wave of Force, not something we see too much in the competitive scene from the Li Mings. Might be picked up here as a disengaged tool for the Diablo, Thrall, and Zeratul, who are going to be itching to go on Mysticles.
Absolutely. And without level 10 just being achieved here, the rotation, the delay is going to be crucial, but Zig might overextend. Zeta, oh my goodness, such risky positioning. Daihu's going to capitalize, and this might be...
Apoc does end up going down, but 7-Sided Strikes unable to secure those kills. Zig did go in for that kill with that Shadow Assault like I talked about in the draft, but not able to get a kill, and that's going to be the death of the Diablo again, but we do have that Devil's Due. He's going to be back in this fight very, very shortly, but man, just showing you the burst capability of this team. I mean, it's not just the Tyrande and the Li Ming. Falstad can do so much damage if left uncontested, and he's just getting off free autos.
Absolutely, and we're in a situation with the Shadow Assault. Oh, Zig with the beautiful dash. I'm made to be able to survive that situation there. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit is the ultimate choice from the Zeratul essentially determines how their team fight has to happen if they're going to be successful here at all. But the rotation in the upper half, this is going to be one dead Juggernaut, and he was not going to be able to survive with his life here. The tri-lane and bottom not capitalizing. Maybe Hexo getting a little bit out. Nothing to dash to, but he will dash now and be able to walk away from this situation. A lot of it just comes down to with the build here. Oh man, Boss going to be taking his response. Love that. Shadow Assault essentially is saying that if they don't get a pick with Shadow Assault, they aren't going to win a single team fight. I definitely like the Void Prison counter engage here from them, but it's not a strategy that is uncommon. Oh, Daihu's maybe going to lose his life. Gus coming out there, but Gale Force just establishing dominance on the map.
Yeah, I mean, the Shadow Assault, I hinted at it in the draft, you know, just the way you can try and isolate the Li Ming. You know, I don't know if that tactic is going to work against a team that's as coordinated as Gale Force, but you mix that with the Pyroblast picked up on Kael'thas as well. If you cast both Pyroblast and Shadow Assault on Li Ming, it's going to be pretty hard for her not to die.
Absolutely.
It's Karazim. He went 7-Sided Strikes. Maybe if he went Divine Palm, but I don't know if many teams would have had the foresight to go, okay, there's a chance at Shadow Assault, Pyroblast, let me go Divine Palm. You know, it's not too often that you see that. So
especially depending on the next two talents picking up by this Li Ming, right? Zeratul's going to go in and try and isolate her. There he goes with the 13 talent. So at 16, he's going to take Diamond Skin. And it's a situation where, yes, even though they engage on her, she's going to have 2 E's even if they burst her down to do an insane amount of damage to him. Great Apoc going to be coming out there, but he's going to be already be dead at this point, and this is going to be a very risky team fight for the Tranquility coming out. He's going to go down as well, and Zig is out of the fight as well. Mosh Pit coming in to just add salt to the wound. It's just... I personally just feel like compositionally the situation that Carr has put themselves into is that if they don't get like a really sweet success with the Zeratul a pick, it's just there's just so little room to come back here with Gale Force eSports comp.
Yeah, no, again, this is you said it in the draft that the composition was the draft was won very hard by Gale Force eSports, and we're seeing why. I mean, double melee assassin is something that we've I think seen like once or twice competitively by COG in the past, and it was a long time ago.
And keep
So
in mind that's a team that legitimately has some of the the considered best melee
yes,
assassins. Like so they have their absolutely terrifying specific melee assassin players like Laurent, for instance. So that's like a rare exception as well.
yeah. But it's tough to come back on these situations. Zig taking a lot of damage. Seven Star Strike does go down. Nice blink out of there to survive that. But a really good synergy coming out from these guys. Gale Force Esports as they're doing a great job of securing kills, and it's so tough to play against. And I talk about that last fight. I mean, I keep saying that Mighty Gust is just such a hard counter to Tranquility, and it's not just about pushing the Mouth away with when she pops Tranquility. We saw I think it was the Thrall get Mighty Gusted out of Tranquility. I mean, that's just like it's so easy for Falstead to hard counter Malfurion in these situations. And then Iconic taking some damage in the mid lane. Ball and Beast taking some damage from Zig, and that's going to be the death of Diablo yet again. But he does have those souls. Devil's Due getting mad value this game.
Yeah, but that's not always a good thing.
No, it's not.
It is like, wow, my Devil's Due is getting a lot of value for me, but it doesn't mean that it's really helping your team. Even a dead Diablo is like a 10-second walkback time. So 16 tier talent's going to be picked up by Gale Force far before their opponents here. They look to get on Juggernaut. Ball and Beast, though, getting threatened down. The Shadow Stalk, the Gust coming out. That's 2 ultimates. Not going to be any more than that. So burning 2 ultimates there. Good attempt from Zig to try and make something happen. At least he's trying to play to the advantage of his comp. Even though it may not be necessarily the best one, he's trying to make something happen here. So I do respect that kind of play there. Trying to make something happen rather than letting his opponents just get 16 for free. But now they are about to close into 16 if they're Gale Force. They do secure a kill. The reset's going to happen. Zeta with a beautiful wave of force. And that's one dead Malfurion. Keep in mind as well, Malfurion not taking Ice Block against a hard CC single target blow up composition as well. It's just, again, it's compositionally, it's very hard for Gale Force to lose this game over their opponents because there's a 16 tier as well. Diamond Skin picking up for Li Ming. She's just has so much health. I just dropped a light.
Okay?
I just dropped my light.
Are you okay, Wade?
I'm
Are you
sorry.
in trouble? Mystically's getting pretty low here. And I honestly think that, that bloop noise I was making, Blizzard just needs to insert that audio into the game anytime Li Ming gets a reset. I think that just really adds to the character's theme a lot. So we do see Juggernaut and Iconic getting very low in the stop lane. That's going to be a full wipe, as I believe Kel'Thas and Malfurion were killed not very long ago as well. 17-14 here, a big talent advantage right now, and I mean, Gale Force has full control of this game. With only 8 more shots needed to close this out. Boss spawns in 35 seconds, as well as the altar spawning very soon. This is looking like a very one game for Gale Force.
Absolutely, and there's such a power position here. Capturing this on top is going to take away more shots. And really, it's not even the fact that the core is at 40 to 8 there. It's more of the XP than anything to me and the composition. Like, you could be in a situation where, yes, you are down this many shots, but on Towers of Doom, I don't really feel like it's over as long as you have the composition to deal with it. It's just one of these situations where not only you down so far, but you just don't have the composition like last game to answer it. They're trying to make a play here in the 4 vs 5. Zig trying to make something happen. Ball and Beast in the upper half of the map might get threatened down. The Shadowstock, comes out. Oh my gosh, the dash of the wall. It's not going to be enough. Sunder coming out, and they do end up getting a pick.
He's still alive. He's not going down.
He's not gonna.
It's gonna save him. Nice hits coming up from Hexo and Lamar. The Apocalypse goes down, but how did he not die there? Ball and Beast somehow, by the skin of his teeth, staying alive. And now with 4 members dead, only Zeratul alive. Dread with the double altar spawning. This is game. I think this is it.
It's going to be game as long as they aren't going to be able to delay them from this at all. And honestly, Ball and Beast walking away from that situation, the only thing he has to say is really just calculated. That was insane. The fact he was able to survive that. Huge shout out to Dayu for that massive mosh pit in order to ensure that his team is able to survive the situation. There's the cap, mystically zoning. Zig is trying to move in there, get a kill, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, it's going to be GG.
Beast and Hexo get both those caps. Gale Force Esports once again makes it to the grand finals of the Divergent Gaming Open. I mean, just no surprise here. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the day that I feel that they're on the team of the verge of that semi-pro status where they'll actually start being able to compete at the higher level. There's a few more tweaks to their drafting and the shot calling, and they'll definitely be able to make it there. These guys are a phenomenal team.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. They're very well, very kind of skilled team for how long they've been working together and everything else, that they definitely stand out here at these amateur tournaments every week. And really, I would like to see when we move it on this grand finals here with them, I would like to see their opponents take away this kind of ETC Toronto hyper engage that they seem to be clinging on to today. I feel like it's definitely going to make their strategies be, or at least their gameplay possibly find a major loophole in it, or a hole in it, if they do end up taking away this very straightforward hyper engage composition. And if their opponents are able to do that, I do think they might be able to take this tournament away from Gale Force as the expected, as we've stated earlier. But we are going to go to a break here, ladies and gentlemen. I need to fix my light that fell over and broke my green screen. We will be back in just a moment, getting into the grand finals with Gale Force eSports versus who's their opponent again?
We don't know yet. We'll find out soon. Stay tuned.
We'll find out soon.